make an opening statement. We'll take some questions.
All right, yeah, thanks everybody for showing up. First, just from the team and staff, just want to offer our thoughts and prayers to Bronny and his family. Had a chance to quick moment there with our team chaplain after the fact. So they've certainly been in our thoughts and prayers over the last few days, and pray for a great recovery. And I know all the rest of the Trojan family feels that way. Yeah, I told the guys after. I mean, it was a good first day. Listen, it's great to be back on the field. This is not year one. The reality is, if 120 teams practice, 120 teams are going to have really good first days, and everybody's going to be excited. What happened today was what needed to happen. It was the expectation. Our ability to separate ourselves is going to come as this camp and this season play out. So certainly it's fun to be out here with the new team finally, the entire team there together, the new players mixed up with the returning players, some of the new staff members. Like, every part of it feels great, and we've been looking forward to it. But it was a business-like, high-energy practice, like it is going to be on the first one, and hopefully we can separate ourselves as time goes on.
Has the first practice changed for you, 6-7 years as a head coach, like from your time to Oklahoma and now? Is it about the same, or has it been a little bit different as you kind of evolved as a head coach?
I mean, you get more used to the role, but very similar. The rules have not changed much in terms of kind of how you can practice and what the goals are for the first few days. And so, yeah, I mean, I think each team and each situation is different and what you're building. I mean, last year certainly still, because of the obviously new program, new setting, new everything, felt very different. Today felt more like kind of business as usual, and we were able to hit the field running, certainly a more efficient group in terms of just the players, the operation of practice, everything much smoother right now.
Alex talked yesterday about going back and watching practice for the first time as he was kind of doing deep dives this past summer. What revelations, if any, maybe came from that, just kind of watching the defense? And
I don't know if they're revelations, but you're able to start piecing together, why things went well, and what you did to make them go well, the things that didn't go well, why they didn't, and again, what happened or didn't happen because of that. And I think the biggest thing is we're looking at it with an eye towards the future, right? And how can we improve as a staff, pushing these guys, putting these guys in position to be successful? How can the players improve? How can you illustrate that the things you do here in practice on a weekly basis truly do show up in the games, good or bad? And we were able to find a lot of that. Listen, you look at, early on in the season, the way we were playing, the way we were practicing, certainly correlated, and there was a lot of very positive things. We did a great job, I thought, all season long as far as creating turnovers and emphasizing turnovers in practice, and we were one of the best teams in the country at that. But you certainly can look at some of the games toward the end of the season and see, energy level, practice level, some of that drop, and then some of the mental mistakes show up that plagued us in the second half of the year. And so it certainly always carries over, and you do what you have to do to address it. You make the coaching adjustments, you build a better roster, you build a deeper, more competitive roster, and I feel like we've done all of those things and have a setup to not only start well, like we said today, but sustain it.
Did you see Alex attack this offseason any differently than you have in the past?
He's a really good coach. So, I mean, he's going to make adjustments. All he cares about is winning and our defense playing to the level that we expect here, which is a high level defense, one of the best defenses in the country. Like, that is absolutely the expectation. And I think each year as a coach, what you have to do and what the team and the players need you to do to help get to that point, it's not always the same, right? Every group's different. Every situation that you come into is different. So we peeled back the layers. We identified where we needed to improve, where I needed to improve, where he needed to improve, the staff, the players, the program, the practices, everything. And then we put a plan in place. And, yeah, I mean, he's as motivated as any person in this building right now, but I don't know that that's any different than Alex that I've seen for the last 4 years.
What was the biggest factor moving Jonah to the left tackle?
We're going to look at it early here in camp. We practiced the other way in spring with him at right and Tarquin at left. Tarquin's got experience playing both. Jonah, and obviously just his experience within our system and the quality of player he's become. There's just a lot of comfort there, right? That he certainly can do it. And so we worked both through the summer. I'm sure we'll work both into camp, and knowing how these seasons go, there's a good chance that both those guys are going to be guys that may have to move around, along with Mason Murphy. I'd put him in that category, and several others in our group. So working combinations, and we felt like this was the best one to start camp with.
Have the priorities changed at all heading into week one this year versus last year?
The priorities changed. I mean, I think we all feel like we're further ahead, right? There's a starting point that's much different than a year ago at this time, and so, and I think the goals in terms of what we want to accomplish in this camp probably are a little different that way. Maybe less familiarized and more. We kind of know what the standard and expectations are. Our guys know what we expect at practice. They know the level of competition, and so how do we rise and take that climb and continue to take the next steps? And so I would say more of an emphasis on that right now.
How does your confidence level in Caleb and Miller compare to maybe some of the other duos that you've had as a head coach at that position?
It's as high as any room that I can remember. I mean, it's especially having them both now for what's going to be multiple years, and you throw in, and I would just say with the whole room, then you throw in a really talented freshman that's got a chance to become a very good player, and then the value Jake Jensen brings, kind of being the steady guy in that room that is always there. It's hard this day and age to have four guys in the room that you feel like we could go play and go win and go play well with. It's hard to do, and we're fortunate to have that right now.
What was the thought process to the early morning start you guys have for this game?
Well, we're in class. Our guys are in class. When you start as early as we have, because the week 0, you typically have a couple of days when you're in class, and you can work around that. But for us, it either becomes a very early morning practice or a night practice, and these guys are used from summer workouts, used to getting up early. So we'll feature that. It won't always be this early, just depending on the class days, and about half our camp will be while school's in, and then the back half of our camp will be free time with no school in. So we'll mix it a little bit here through these next couple of weeks, so that we get a couple of times to get under the lights and get a little bit more recovery. But this is a schedule that made the most sense to get done what we need to get done from a football perspective, and then obviously allow the guys to handle their academic responsibilities.
What different challenges does that create? Having school much more this
Yeah.
football camp?
Yeah, really early wake-up calls. And probably, I would say with that, I think just that it's more for the players, right? They have to balance when all this is over, like they're going to class, and then they're coming back over here for a full afternoon, whereas when you get to later, when we're not in class, we'll have a lot of activities in the morning. They'll get a chance to go rest and recover and sleep and kind of get away from it. So for our guys in class, it's a challenge, but it takes what it takes.
Let's do one more.
Bear was limited today. Do you expect that to be something that holds out through these first couple weeks, and what does he just generally add to that room once you're able to get him full go?
Yeah, just a very minor soft tissue, not quite ready to go full speed yet, but very close. We don't expect it to be long. Yeah, I'm excited about him. I mean, it's been exciting watching him in the off season. I caution people, kind of like I did with Caleb and some of the other guys when they transferred in here at a similar age. Like, he's still very young. Like he's had a good experience for the amount of time he's been in college, but he has not been in college very long. He's not played just a million competitive reps yet, so he's certainly still growing and learning. And but yeah, I mean, you can tell, just the size, the mass, the physicality, combined with the athleticism there in the middle of the defense. I mean, hard to imagine him not being a real factor. And obviously, we'll be eager to get him full go and get him out here where he can participate fully.
Thank you, Coach Riley.
All right, thanks.